Right, so it's day 3. What we're going to do today is going to finish this floor we didn't finish yesterday. I'm going to get the blower, blow off that water because it's pissed it down last night again. These guys are scraping off the 5-minute glue. And then we're going to blow the water off, then we're going to get the frameworks up, we're going to get the walls up, we're going to get the walls OSB'd, and we're hopefully going to get the roof structure on, and then God knows what we're going to do tomorrow because it's going to pee it down all day. Right, we're going to build the back wall now. We're going to build it out of 4x2 CLS. So you can see what John's doing there. He's put his 2 long lengths of timber together. He's marking his 400 centres all the way along, and then what we'll do, we'll split the top and the bottom rail, and there's our uprights, what Amy's getting out now that we've previously cut, Sean, that we've previously cut. Should we start again, Sean? Okay, so we're putting our uprights in there as well. So we've dropped the back plate there, the top plate there. John's marked his 400 centres. We are going to nail it with the Paslode IM350 Plus, and we're using 90mm galvanised nails in that as well. We'll put 3 nails in each one. What we're going to do, we're going to build the back wall in situ, clad it and stand it up, and we're going to do the same with the sides on this one as well. They're the timbers for the uprights we've already cut, they're pre-cut. The boards over there, they are old imperial size boards, which they all tend to be. So they're 4 foot, whereas your plasterboard's 1.2. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to rip a piece off all the boards to create the 1.2 board. What I'll do with them as well, I will mark up the boards for the 400 centres, so when they put the board on the top, they'll be able to see where they can nail. Okay. Right, so the CLS is 4.8 long, the building's longer than that, so we've had to make an additional frame at the end, which they're now going to fix together, and then we're going to OSB the full frame and stand it up. And these boards are square. If we square the OSB with the frame and then do that all the way along, then the wall will be square and plumb when it goes up. And you can see I put the lines on there so that he knows where his 400s are to nail to. Okay, right, so he's going to nail that corner there. Right, then what we're going to do is get this line in line with the timber, so Amy will get that right down there, and then she'll nail that. Right, she can then nail up this line. Whoa, 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 wait Amy, up that line, up this line.
Check your depth on the ground, Sean.
It's too deep.
It's too deep, knock it off a couple.
Right, and then what we need to do then is, see that wall there isn't right, so that needs squaring up. Right, a bit more, John. Amy, push that board to me, please. No, you have to push it rather than hitting it, it's bouncing back. There. Come and nail that long, Sean. Sean, just nail it, mate.
This side would be better. I'll set the bed. Hold this board.
And then when we carry on all the way along, as long as we keep our CLS in line with the top of the board, that'll mean the wall's straight and square. So you can see the OSB there is hanging over the bottom. That's so that it flies down over the framework. So Amy's going to do now, she's going to follow the lines that I've guided, and then she knows where to nail. So again, he's squaring that frame up. Just get this corner, look, nail that corner there. Nail down that line then, Amy. Go down towards Sean. And what we'll do then, you can see the frame's running out again there. So that frame will have to be pushed across so that that is flush with the top of the frame.
Go to the side of the bar. That side of the bar.
There, nail it, John. I've done it. So that's the full wall OSB'd, which, I mean, because we squared it off when we stand that up, that should be square. What Adam's doing now is he's going round and he's putting a chicken mesh skirt in the bottom of there to stop any vermin going under. I mean, you're never going to stop a mouse, but it'll stop rats or foxes or anything like that. What we're going to do now, we've marked our battens there so that we know where our 400 centres are, and we're going to put this breathable membrane on the building and then fix the slate battens on there as well. Yeah. Pull it tight! Right, so they're putting the breathable membrane on now. It's a moisture breathable membrane, a roofing membrane basically. Putting a few staples in that just to hold it in place. We'll overlap it by 150mm, and then we're going to put some vertical slate battens on and then some horizontal slate battens as well. What they're doing now, they're fixing the vertical slate battens on. Again, we're using the 90mm Paslode nails. And then we'll put some horizontal ones on as well to finally carry our feather edge boards, which will be vertical as well. So she's going along now and she's doing our horizontal battens.
Get next one, Sean. Next one, Sean. Once there's a couple of nails in
So
it,
the reason why we're doing 2 slate battens is to give airflow, so that when the exterior cladding gets any moisture on it, it does dry off, because it's got airflow behind and to the front as well.
Go, 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 go.
So what we're going to do now, the wall's just going to get stood up and it'll drop down the side, and the OSB that's hanging over, it's going to fall off the back. Pull it to you! Pull it to you, it's too close! Too much, too much.
And 2.
Right, no, check Sean's. Check Sean's in.
She can see it.
But it might not be, and if we do it, the side will fall off.
Yeah, it's absolutely fine.
Okay, so it's going to go up now. There you go. So you can see now, that's now sat on the floor there. What we'll do now, we'll push it in situ. John's just going to move it across that way a little bit. It needs sending to him.
Not too much. Back.
And once they've located that in place, when we're happy it's in the right position, we'll then fix it.
Alright, yeah, probably go.
Do you want to move? So sidewall's going to go up now. We've done the same scenario again. We've clad it in place, and when we'll stand that up, that'll be plumb, and we'll fix it to the back wall then. And he's just getting it so that when it drops down, the OSB there drops down the side, rather than the wall fall off the floor. Yeah, starting to take shape now. There you go, that's third wall up. Right, what Amy's doing now, the back wall and the side walls are up, but obviously we need to support the front there and get it plumb. So John's going to plumb it, and what she's going to use is that brace and fix the brace to the floor. Once John gives it's okay with the clear, you know, when it's plumb, and then she'll drive it into the floor, and then that'll secure that side. Happy? Right, so he's not happy, so I'm going to take it out and redo it. Amy, pull it to the side, 'cause it'll locate in the same hole. Just move it, that's it, that's it. So it's pretty critical that we actually get it 100% bang on, because obviously the doors are going to sit in here as well when the front walls have gone on. If he's happy, then you'll give it okay. Yeah, he's happy with that. So what they're going to do now, they'll do the same on this side as well, and then we'll put the front 2 walls on. I'll show you what we've done with them walls, because we've dropped the top down a little bit there. I don't know if you can see it, just there. There's a little drop down. That's where the steel's going to sit. So he's doing the same on this side again. Make sure it's 100% plumb before she fixes it. So now basically what we've got there is we've got those 3 walls up. The back corners are held because they're right anyway. We've put them 2 braces in now, so they'll now put the front wall in, and I'll explain what we're going to do with that, because that definitely needs to line through dead straight for the doors. So what we'll do, we'll put one in the middle as well, just to take any bow out of that back wall. Right, so what they're doing now, we've put a string line on the front of this building. What we've done, we've put a screw there on that front wall, and we've put a screw down the front wall, and what we want is for these 2 walls to run dead through in line with each other, so that when we put the steel on, the wall's plumb and square. So by means of doing that, we'll put a tight string line on the bottom, put a block in that end there. We'll put a block in this end now as well. There you go, he's put his other block in there like that. And then when we slide this block down there, can you see how that's, you know, it needs to go a bit more, John. There you go. So that there then will line them through, so we can fix that timber down there. We'll do the same on this wall over here. Come on, John, I'll let you down. Look, just let me get there so I can see it. There you go. So what we'll do now is just slowly, John, so I can see it. Send it down so I can see it, John. Move it on. That's it. There you go. So there, now we know them walls are running through perfectly in line with each other. The front wall. The front wall's higher than the back wall, so we've formed a pitch on the roof. It's a 75mm pitch that we've provided. If you can just see there, the front wall comes and then it drops down. There's a 200mm opening there and a 200mm opening there, and what will happen there then, there'll be a steel that runs across there, that sits in there, that will then finish flush with the top of the wall. So what John's going to do now, he's going to put some more vertical props in there to plumb them 2 front walls up, and then we should be good. Right, so what we're going to do now is fully OSB'd. We're going to then put this steel beam in. So it's a steel hollow section. It's 160 that way, it's 80 that way, it's 5mm thick, and we've filled it with rock wool to stop any cold bridging going across it. So that's going to be lifted above and put up there, and then fixed with some tech screws.
Well, we can assist as they go up.
It's relatively heavy, but it's no more than a 2-man lift, to be fair.
I'll sort of go up the middle as well. I'll put it up the middle.
I'm going to shoulder press it up. See, what they're going to do, they can guide it up there, and it can't go forward because it's on the OSB. What they'll do now is push that tight to the OSB. You pushed it tight to OSB, yeah?
Yeah, it's in.
Right, so what'll happen then, that's in. That's great as lintel. Just pass us a bit of 4x2 there, will you, Sean? We'll put a tech screw up into there, same over there. We're then going to drop some 4x2 on the face of it and tech screw that into that and fix that through there, so that will all be then secure. This will then give us some timber to fix the joist hangers on for his roof. Upside down joist hangers. And it, Sean. Just a little note for all you home builders. All your offcuts of OSB which you've cut off from your bottom of your boards, you want to rip them down and do the likes of above your steel and below your doors. Also, the end cuts off the 4x2 CLS, we're going to cut all them down and use them for noggins in the walls. So we've put the 160 steel on there. You can see John now, he's tech screwing the timber into the steel, and then what we'll be able to do then when we put our roof timbers on, put the joist hangers on upside down and fix to that. Also gives something for the plasterboard to keep. For all you who got a little bit excited, there she is, look! Okay, so like I said, all your offcuts of your OSB, you want to rip them down and use them for where you need them, so we're packing out under there. Jordan's also going to fix these 160mm rips there to the steel with the tech screws as well, so you know you've got very little wastage. I mean, that's what we've got left of the OSB sheets, which is next to nothing. All these offcuts of the 4x2 will be used as noggins, which Adam's going to put in. I mean, that there is the wastage we've left, so any of you guys that are wanting to do a home build pack and you're thinking about your materials and stuff like that, well, with the quantities that I'm giving you, that's the kind of wastage you're going to have if you build them right. On another note, they are generic packs, so I'm not doing bespoke anymore. And on another note to that, what was the other note I wanted to tell you? Can't remember, I'll drop it in another time anyway. Okay, because the roof span's over 3 metres, what we're going to do is double up these joists. So the 5x2, so we're going to turn them into a 4x2 by means of bolting together. Just so that the timbers are flush with each other, what we're going to do, John's going to run down with the nail gun first. Amy's going to pull it left and right to straighten them up so they're both in line. Then John will jump on the corky drill and drill for the bolt holes. We'll then bolt it and nut it in as well. All right, John. Double nail it.
See you, Amy. Touch. Yeah,
so what he's doing, he's getting Amy to pull it left and right so that both timbers are flush with each other.
to me. More. Yep.
Sometimes you've got to really over accentuate the pull on it just to get them in line with each other, but then you'll have a nice 4x5 when it's finished. So it's plenty strong enough for this roof span. We use M10 bolts. Some I've got from home, they're a bit longer than what we need, but we're going to grind them off, and I've got some more shorter ones that we're going to put in. Right, so he's double nailed that now. He'll jump on the corky drill, which has got a 10mm drill bit in it. What he's going to do then, he's going to drill a series of holes at this end. That's for the cables. It's a lot easier to drill them while they're on the deck now, so that we can run our light cables in through the holes. Don't forget your end bolt. So he's putting them bolts at they're around 400 centres. Adam will follow behind and just drive that bolt through. As soon as they're rolled over, then they'll put a washer and a nut on it. Amy will jump on with impact driver and drive them down. Like I say, I've ordered the bolts I had at home were too long, but we'll whip them off with a grinder. It's sort of a production line stuff really, just one thing follows another. Everybody knows their place, everybody knows what they're doing. Little teamwork kind of thing going. Right, somebody asked me why we use nails instead of screws, and this is the reason. So they've snapped straight away. Them ones, you're going to be a long time bending them before you've actually snapped them. So that's the reason why we use nails rather than screws. Okay, so that's day 3 finished. So we've done the base, we've done the walls, we've used 4x2 CLS on the walls, we've clad it in an 11mm OSB. We've also built the front wall out of 5x2 C16. We've put in this steel section. Nobody else is putting steel above their doors. There's only us that putting steel in the way it should be done. We put the timber on the back of the steel there, which will then carry the upside down joist hangers, which will strap the roof on. The roof's over 3 metres in span, so we've doubled up the roof timbers, and you can see there we've bolted every 400 on them. So they've got like a 4x5 now, bolted every 400. Nice solid roof timbers. Take the weight of the snow when it comes. We've put the breathable membrane around the building. John started putting the slate lats on. We built the walls in situ and stood them up. We've double slate battened it for the reason that it allows airflow to travel behind, so when your cladding gets wet, your cedar will still dry out and it'll last longer. We've double battened on the back. That's going to be feather edge. You can see down there, Adam's put a chicken wire skirt around the bottom to keep vermin out and foxes and stuff like that. You're never going to stop a mouse, but at least it'll keep a rat and a fox out as such. So that's it. Where are we now, John? So it's gonna rain tomorrow, so I'm not sure if we're going to be here tomorrow. If we are here, then we'll get this roof finished, we'll get it boarded, we'll get the rubber over it temporarily, and we'll insulate with 50mm insulation. So doors, 3 metres, all sliding that way. There's a window to the side there. That's a top hung, full opener window there. So it's a beautiful sized garden room in a beautiful garden in a beautiful part of the country, Poppleton in York. So if you'd like to like, subscribe, follow and all the rest of that business, that's great. And thank you. 20,000 subscribers, absolutely over the moon with that. Thanks to everybody who subscribed and all the fantastic comments as well. Don't forget, plans are for sale. I'll bring you outside in a minute now and I'll show you what I mean by the materials list. So the materials list, you're going to have very little left over. I mean, the likes of the roof timbers there, the offcuts are then your 400 noggins. The offcuts of the CLS timbers are your noggins in there as well. The offcuts of your OSB for the bottom trims and the top trims. So everything is used, got very little wastage. I've showed you some of the wastage today. We've got 5 bags of wood outside, waiting for somebody to come and collect them for firewood. Okay, so it's been a pleasure today, and the lads and girls have worked really hard, and hopefully we'll be back here tomorrow.